gangsters surgically placed a CPH4 drug inside a girl's stomach. But when the bag leaks inside her belly, she accidentally absorbs the powerful substance that unlocks her brain's full potential. As her intelligence and abilities grow beyond human limits, she gains telekinesis, mind control, and ultimate knowledge. But with great power, she begins losing her emotions, evolving into something beyond human comprehension. This is Lucy. The movie starts in Taipei, Taiwan. A young woman named Lucy is caught in a dangerous trap by her so-called boyfriend, Richard. He wants her to deliver a mysterious briefcase to a crime boss, Mr. Zhang. Lucy refuses, even when Richard shows her money, asking what's inside. Richard just smiles and says only Mr. Zhang knows the code. When she still says no, Richard handcuffs the briefcase to her wrist, leaving her no choice. Scared, Lucy goes into the hotel, hoping to just hand over the package and leave. At the reception, she nervously says she's here to meet Mr. Zhang and has a package for him. The receptionist makes a quick call and tells her to wait. Soon, a group of men in black suits comes in. Lucy looks outside and sees Richard get shot dead. Before she can react, the men grab her and drag her upstairs. They enter a room where Mr. Zhang sits calmly while people are being killed around him. Lucy realizes she is in serious danger. Lucy begs, "I'm here only because of Richard. I have nothing to do with this." But Mr. Zhang doesn't understand English. He orders someone to call over the phone with a loud translator so he can understand her. Once he understands, Mr. Zhang writes down the code and demands that Lucy open the case. He and his men cover themselves, thinking it might be a bomb. Lucy is terrified, but she has no choice. She enters the code and opens the case. To her relief and horror, it's not a bomb. Inside is a strange blue drug. Mr. Zhang comes closer and looks at the blue drug carefully. It's called CPH4. He decides to test it before doing anything. He calls one of his men and brings in a junkie. Mr. Zhang orders the man to take the CPH4. As soon as he does, the junkie starts shaking and goes on a mysterious, crazy trip, making some of the bodyguards laugh. But suddenly, Mr. Zhang pulls out his gun and shoots the junkie, making the whole room silent again. The mood instantly turns dark and tense. The scene then cuts to a scientist named Professor Norman, who is giving a presentation about the human brain at a university. He explains that humans use only about 10% of their brain's total capacity. With just that 10%, humans have evolved into what we are today, able to build cities, create technology, discover space, and change the world. The audience listens with deep interest as he shows images of evolution and the brain's structure. Lucy slowly opens her eyes in a hotel room, feeling dizzy and weak. She tries to move but feels a sharp pain in her stomach. When she looks down, she sees a fresh surgical cut. Her belly has been operated on. Shocked and scared, she realizes something has been done to her while she was unconscious. Before she can figure out what's happening, the door suddenly bursts open. A group of thugs enters the room and Lucy is dragged through the hallway by the thugs and taken to another room where Mr. Zhang is waiting. But she's not alone, there are 3 other victims there too, all frightened and confused. Each of them has been operated on, just like her. Mr. Zhang watches silently as his men explain through a translator that a bag of CPH4 has been placed inside each of their stomachs. They are to carry the drugs to different countries. If they fail, they die. Lucy looks around at the other victims, scared, shaking, and hopeless. She realizes she's trapped in something much bigger and darker than she could ever imagine. The thugs cover their faces with black bags, making it impossible to see anything. Lucy and the other victims are dragged away and loaded into different vehicles. They have no idea where they are being taken. As the car moves, Lucy breathes heavily, her heart racing. She's terrified, but one thought keeps echoing in her mind: to survive, no matter what. The scene shifts to a dark, prison-like room. Lucy is alone, weak and scared, sitting on the cold floor. An unknown Taiwanese man, already in the room, approaches her with bad intentions. Lucy quietly says, "I'm not in the mood, please leave me alone," trying to calm him down. But he becomes angry. He punches her hard, knocking her to the ground, and kicks her in the stomach, right where the CPH4 bag is placed. As the man kicks her, Lucy feels a sharp, burning pain in her stomach. The CPH4 bag inside her has burst, and the drug starts spreading through her bloodstream. At first, she is dizzy and trembling, every nerve in her body screaming. Her vision blurs, her heart races, and a strange heat spreads from her belly to her chest and head. Sounds are louder, brighter, colors sharper. She feels like every part of her body is awake at once, but it's overwhelming. Then, suddenly, the pain vanishes. It's as if her body has absorbed the drug perfectly, leaving her strangely calm yet intensely aware. Lucy slowly rises and sits on a chair, trying to process everything. She's alert, every sense heightened, waiting silently for the goon who hurt her, who still has no idea that Lucy is already changing into something far beyond human. Suddenly, a man with bad intentions enters the room. He has a gun at his side and approaches Lucy, preparing to rape her. He still has no idea that Lucy is already changing. The CPH4 inside her is transforming her body and mind, giving her powers far beyond human limits. As the man moves closer, Lucy suddenly springs into action. Using the strength and speed she's gained from the CPH4, she beats him up, knocking him to the ground. Before he can recover, Lucy grabs his gun and shoots him, leaving him unconscious. Calm and collected, she walks out of the room, fully aware of her new power and the danger she now represents. Lucy moves through the room with cold, deadly precision. Every goon who had been enjoying themselves gets shot. One of the bullets even hits her, but she doesn't feel any pain. Calmly, she eats some food on the table and then removes the bullet from her body with no expression. After that, she leaves the building. Outside, at a taxi stand, she asks if the drivers know English. One says no. Lucy shoots him immediately. Another driver hesitates, but she forces him to start the car, ordering him to take her to the hospital. When they arrive, she gets out, telling him to wait, and storms into the hospital with her gun. Lucy heads straight to the operating ward, where a surgery is in progress. She quickly checks the situation and shoots the patient, telling the doctors that they couldn't have saved him anyway. Then she orders the doctor to remove the CPH4 package that the goons had stitched into her stomach. As the operation begins, Lucy is on the phone with her mom, calmly explaining her new powers. She can remember everything, even things from when she was a baby, like sucking milk, abilities far beyond a normal human. The doctor carefully removes the package and is amazed that Lucy is still alive, despite the CPH4 having burst in her belly. Outside, Lucy is amazed at her new abilities. She can see things no normal human can, even tree roots absorbing water from the ground. Without hesitation, she takes a taxi directly to Mr. Zhang's hotel. She storms inside, killing every goon in her way. She even shoots accurately through doors without seeing her targets, moving effortlessly toward Mr. Zhang. Inside, Mr. Zhang is relaxing, listening to music with cucumbers on his eyes and getting a massage. Lucy orders the lady attending him to step aside and sits calmly in front of him. Suddenly, she stabs both of his hands, shocking him completely. Then, placing her hand on his head, she takes his memory. She gains the knowledge about the other victims who had CPH4 in their bellies, sent to Berlin, Paris, and Rome. Lucy calmly thanks him for sharing the drug and walks away, leaving Mr. Zhang alive but powerless and humiliated. The next scene shows Lucy in her friend's apartment. Her friend is surprised and happy to see her, unaware of what Lucy has become. Lucy quietly borrows her laptop and begins typing, but not like any normal person. Her fingers move faster than human speed, and the screen flashes with data and code. She quickly pulls up information about Professor Norman, a scientist known for his research on the brain. Lucy feels he's the only one who can truly understand what's happening to her. Lucy calls him and tells him she knows everything about his research. At first, Professor Norman thinks it's a prank until Lucy appears on his TV screen, live, right in front of him. She tells him she has now unlocked 28% of her brain and is on her way to reaching 100%. She explains that she can now control her metabolism, magnetic and electric fields, and even other people. Norman, who always believed these abilities were only theoretical, is shocked to see them happening in real life. Lucy's brain is now absorbing and creating an enormous amount of knowledge, faster than she can handle. She admits that she doesn't know what to do with all this power. Norman calmly tells her. There's only one purpose: to pass on the knowledge. Every living being does it. Just as every living being passes its genetical identity to its offspring, we pass on what we've learned before we die. That's how life works. Lucy hangs the call saying she will meet him in 12 hours. She heads out from her friend's apartment, giving her the prescription and advises to change her lifestyle as her liver and kidney is failing. After her hospital act, Lucy is now wanted and appears on television. She quickly changes her appearance and heads to the airport. On the way, she even calls the police, giving information about the 3 victims and warning an officer about them. The police swiftly catch all 3, in different locations, while Mr. Zhang's goons watch helplessly. Lucy boards a flight to Paris. On the plane, she is seen absorbing data from the internet using 2 laptops at once, processing information faster than any human could. Suddenly, her body begins to fade, her cells demanding more CPH4. She quickly intakes more from her bag, and her body returns to normal, but she loses consciousness at 50% of her brain capacity. At the airport hospital, police officers wait for her to wake up. As she walks out, they pull their guns, but it's useless. With a wave of her hand, Lucy renders everyone unconscious, even emptying bullets from one officer's gun. The officer, amazed and terrified, obeys her commands. Lucy orders him to take her to the victims who still have CPH4 in their bellies. On the way, she learns through a communication line that Mr. Zhang has ordered his goons to take the drugs from the victims, invading the hospital where the police had hidden them. Even though the officer hesitates to let her drive, Lucy takes control of the car and drives like crazy. She arrives at the hospital before the goons can escape. Inside, Lucy confronts the goons. Without even touching them, she takes the packages of CPH4. She even tells the officer to hold the suitcase, while she removes the drug from a dead man's belly without hesitation, shocking everyone, including the police officer. The officer tells her he's no longer needed, but Lucy kisses him lightly and tells him to follow her, as she now has an appointment with Professor Norman. In the next scene, Mr. Zhang learns that his men failed to secure the CPH4 packages. Lucy has taken them all. Furious, he orders his remaining goons to prepare for war. Meanwhile, at the university, Professor Norman is on a call with Lucy. He tells her he's not at the hotel but in the university. Before the call ends, Lucy arrives in person. Norman introduces her to his colleagues. One skeptical scientist challenges her, asking her to show her powers. Lucy touches him and reveals a memory of his daughter's accident, a blue car and a peacock dummy, a glimpse into his past that shocks him. Outside, Mr. Zhang and his army prepare to attack, but Lucy has already ordered the police officer to secure the room. The police stand ready for a deadly crossfire. Inside, Norman and his team prepare Lucy to absorb all the remaining CPH4, pushing her to 70% of her brain capacity. She begins to transform into a black, energy-like matter, absorbing all electric devices, servers, and technical systems around her. The war outside rages on. Officers hold back Mr. Zhang and his forces while inside, Lucy evolves into a supercomputer, storing all the knowledge she has gathered, ready to pass it on to the next generation. Mr. Zhang orders his men to fire a bazooka into the room. At that moment, Lucy travels through time, moving across eras, from the age of dinosaurs to meeting humanity's ancestors by a river, and beyond, through the universe itself. As Mr. Zhang closes in, Lucy reaches 100% of her brain capacity and disappears. At the same moment, the police officer shoots and kills Mr. Zhang. A pen drive emerges from the supercomputer Lucy created, hinting at Norman to retrieve it. As he does, the supercomputer collapses into ashes, leaving all of Lucy's knowledge safely stored in the pen drive. In the final moment, the officer asks Norman, "Where is Lucy?" His phone beeps with a message. "I am everywhere." The movie ends. Thanks for watching. I would appreciate you subscribing to this channel, as in future we will bring new interesting recap. Till then, stay tuned for that epic recap. Peace.